Cynthia Warwick didn't know I'd been wiring her downfall from day one when she tried to steal my truck at dawn, coffee steam curling from my mug as she jammed a gas station novelty key into my F-250's lock, ranting about community authority and commercial vehicle violations in Cedar Grove Estates, Oregon, the metallic scrape igniting rage in my veins. But what would you do if an HOA tyrant tried to hijack your livelihood with a toy key? Drop a flag emoji and tell me where you're watching from. I know you've got HOA horror stories too. I'm Nathan Hayes, a 35-year-old single dad and electrician, raising my daughter Lily after a divorce that left me grinding double shifts to afford Cedar Grove's promise of good schools and safe streets. But Cynthia, a 59-year-old retired bank manager, terrorized our neighborhood like a suburban warlord, measuring lawns with a ruler, timing trash cans, and slapping fake fines on anyone who didn't fit her manicured vision. Unaware she'd targeted the wrong guy. Every midnight patrol, every bogus violation, every attempt to steal my truck caught in 4K resolution. When you mess with an electrician who knows how to rig a trap, you don't just lose, you get exposed. My F-250, parked in my driveway, wasn't just a truck. It was my lifeline, loaded with tools for my trade, and Cynthia's campaign wasn't about rules, it was about control. But I had the voltage to burn her empire down. Cedar Grove felt like a jackpot when I moved in. Friendly neighbors, a $190 a month HOA fee for pools, playgrounds, and landscaping. But Cynthia Warwick, widowed 3 years ago, ran the HOA like a military outpost, her white BMW gleaming in a pristine driveway. Lawn so perfect it could have been plastic, flower beds reeking of fresh mulch like a funeral parlor. Her heel clicks echoing every morning through Cedar Grove, clipboard in hand, measuring trash can placement and clocking commutes. My first violation hit week 2. A $80 fine for my F-250 as a commercial vehicle, though it's a personal truck with a toolbox, same as half the guys in America. The Mexican gardener on Elm Street, Javier Morales, got hit for his pickup, the black delivery driver, Malik Johnson, for his overnight car. I paid that fine for Lily's sake. 3rd grade was starting, and I wanted peace, but that was a mistake. To Cynthia, compliance was weakness. Her BMW prowled past twice daily, gravel crunching like a predator's footsteps. Violation 2, $110 for excessive Christmas lights, standard Target strands, identical to neighbors' unfined displays. Violation 3, $130 for Lily's blue bike, obstructing pedestrian access in our driveway. Cynthia measured it at 7 p.m., tape snapping as barbecue smoke drifted from the Gomez family's yard. Neighbors whispered in fear at mailboxes. Glancing for Cynthia's car, Mrs. Ellis moved after a $320 RV fine. The Carters paid $210 for a basketball hoop 6 inches off. Tom Reed, a carpenter, got nailed for his truck despite 16 years of no issues. But the worst was Lily's anxiety, hiding behind curtains when Cynthia's BMW appeared, her giggles turning nervous. That's when I knew this wasn't about rules. It was personal. Cynthia's car door slam became my 6:15 a.m. alarm. Another fake violation eating my overtime pay. Most paid fines to avoid her wrath. But I'm an electrician. I trace shorts to the source. Month 3, Cynthia lost it. I'm loading my F-250 for a hospital job when she marches over with a cheap toolbox, face set like she's about to commit a felony. I've researched universal vehicle access, she declares, plopping her kit on my hood like a surgeon. HOA protocols grant me entry rights. Inside, $89 worth of gas station tools. Smelling of factory oil and delusion. A master locksmith kit from a scam website. Move your commercial vehicle or I'll relocate it. She snaps. The audacity was electric. She thought HOA rules equaled grand theft auto. I hit record. Ma'am, this is attempted theft, accessing community property. She counters, jabbing a Slim Jim into my lock, the scrape like nails on a chalkboard. Her designer perfume clashing with morning dew. She grunted, muttering about community compliance. When her tools failed, she flipped. You've tampered with HOA property. This universal system should work. I went on offense. Officer Martinez, it's Nathan from Cedar Grove. Attempted vehicle theft in progress. Cynthia dialed 9112. He's stolen HOA keys, both on the phone. Dueling realities, her holding toy tools like a caught crook. Officer Martinez knew me from a charity wiring job. Morning, Nathan, what's this? Cynthia ranted. He's stolen community keys. Martinez eyed her toolkit, a $2 gag gift. Cartoon packaging screaming, for entertainment only. Ma'am, this is a toy, he said. Cynthia doubled down. It's a universal access system. Martinez issued a warning for attempted theft, but word spread faster than barbecue smoke. That afternoon, I mounted a security camera on my driveway. Legal and razor sharp, Clara from Maple Lane. Slip me a note. Cynthia tried her key on Mrs. Ellis's RV. Tom, Clara, and Luis Gomez confirmed Cynthia's vehicle access tests on their trucks. She wasn't just power-hungry. She was planning something bigger. For days post-humiliation, Cynthia launched a propaganda blitz. A dinnertime robocall in her syrupy voice announced an emergency safety meeting for commercial vehicle threats. Glossy flyers hit every doorstep. My F-250 photographed like a crime scene. Red arrows labeling my toolbox, commercial violation. Protect your investment, they screamed. She'd hired a graphic designer. I walked into the Cedar Grove Community Center, reeking of burnt coffee and tension, armed with HOA bylaws, state vehicle codes, and my surveillance photos. Only 14 of 200 households showed, including Edith Hawthorne, 73, Cynthia's cheerleader who called cops on loud teens. Cynthia's PowerPoint was a masterpiece of madness. Commercial infiltration timeline, tracking work. Vehicles with GPS coordinates like a CIA op. I struck. Cynthia, there's no commercial vehicle rule in the original covenants. Where'd this come from? She fumbled, sweating. Standards evolve. State law requires homeowner votes for rule changes. When was the vote? Tom Reed dropped the bomb. I checked county records. Cynthia filed these rules without approval, collecting illegal fines. Silence hit, broken by Edith's cough. Cynthia snapped. I have board authority. Tom, your husband's truck was commercial too, fined until he died. The room froze. Cynthia's grief-fueled vendetta. Targeted trucks like her late husband's. How dare you? She shrieked. I cut in. You made it personal by trying to steal my truck with a toy key. The meeting collapsed, neighbors swapping numbers. To dig deeper, in the parking lot, Cynthia cornered me under a flickering light, barbecue smoke mixing with her coffee breath. You don't belong here. Lowering property values. The mask was off. Discrimination, not rules. You threatened Lily, I said, rage crackling. This stops being about trucks now. Her heels clicked away, but I knew she was hiding bigger secrets. Cynthia's response was desperate escalation. 3 days later, a Hanson's towing flatbed idled outside. The driver snapping pics of my F-250, abandoned commercial vehicle, he said, citing Cynthia's claim it hadn't moved in 2 weeks. From my own driveway, her forged county letterhead boasted fake case numbers. I recorded. That's document fraud, a felony. The driver, Mike, confessed. She's called 6 times. This month about abandoned trucks, we impounded a landscaper's pickup, cost us $16,000 in lawsuits. Cynthia was running a vehicle theft scam across Cedar Grove. Mike handed me her fraudulent work orders that night. My cameras caught Cynthia in designer pajamas, army crawling around my truck with a surveyor's kit, measuring 17 times, muttering about easement violations and emergency removal. She snapped flash photos, building a fake case. Edith filed a county complaint, using Cynthia's bogus measurements to claim my truck blocked emergency access, filing false reports. Another felony. Tom found 12 similar vehicle fines across 3 streets. Luis reported harassment over his delivery van. Thursday, Cynthia marched to my truck with a cordless drill and a car boot, trying to clamp my tire in broad daylight. Immobilizing an illegal vehicle, she huffed, struggling as my cameras rolled. This is theft, I said, dialing 911. Her breathing grew frantic. Metal scraping metal. As the boot failed to fit, Officer Martinez arrived, shaking his head. Ma'am, this is private property, Cynthia shrieked. Community protection. My footage showed her intent. And Martinez took a report. That's when my buddy Derek, rewiring the community center, found a dusty box behind the breaker labeled Board Records Only. Inside, a manila folder revealed Cynthia's husband owed the HOA $48,000 in legal fees from his failed Warwick construction. After his death, Cynthia ran for president, erased the debt, and started skimming $6,900 in small withdrawals for $300 to fake vendors like her cousin's landscaping firm. A kid with a lawnmower, roof repairs never happened. But $3,300 vanished. Her locksmith kit, towing calls, and flyers were charged to the HOA fund. Clara, a nurse, paled at the bank statements. She's funding her harassment with our money. Cynthia's obsession wasn't control, it was covering theft, with an audit looming in 6 weeks. Her desperation made sense. She needed fines to hide her embezzlement. My kitchen became mission control with Derek, Clara, Tom, and Sandra Lopez, an accountant tracking Cynthia's fraud. Sandra mapped $11,200 in theft. Clara rallied neighbors. Tom made flyers listing facts. Your dues, your right to know. I organized evidence. Camera footage, violation notices, fraudulent orders, stored in 3 locations. Lily sorted papers, thinking it was a game. Sandra called Channel 9 reporter Emma Carter. This is systematic theft. Tom found Cynthia's scams in 3 other HOAs, fake fines, towing fraud. We planned an emergency meeting in Tom's backyard, legal and free of Cynthia's control, with pizza, lighting, and 75 chairs. Derek's paralegal girlfriend, Rachel, would observe for legal compliance. Clara arranged childcare so parents could focus. Lily helped with the kids. Sandra's charts showed missing funds, fake vendors, and Cynthia's spending versus actual maintenance. Cynthia countered with certified letters threatening 73 households with $50,000 lawsuits for conspiracy, citing fake statutes. She reported our meeting as an extremist rally, claiming weapons and threats. I called Martinez. She's filing false reports. He promised patrol protection. Sandra found Cynthia probing our credit reports through her fake Warwick Consulting. Wednesday, cameras caught Cynthia sneaking through my back gate with fake documents, trying to plant evidence, muttering about compliance. She tested my garage door and windows, caught in 4K. Thursday, she arrived at Tom's with Edith and 2 fake inspectors, paid $200 each to shut down our meeting. Tom demanded credentials. They fled. Cynthia screamed, "You're destroying my community." As citronella candles lit Tom's yard, 47 households arrived with folding chairs. Cynthia's final move, an emergency vote to expel me, demanding I sell my house, backed by fake legal seals. She called Channel 9, claiming extremist harassment. I called Emma. She's embezzling and distracting with lies. Cynthia filed fraudulent liens on 23 homes, costing thousands to fight. She called my boss, Jim Larson, claiming I misused company tools. Jim laughed. She's trying to get you fired. Her last mistake, arriving at my house with a locksmith, waving forged papers for emergency access. The locksmith balked. This isn't legal. Channel 9's van pulled up, and Cynthia fled, leaving her fake documents in my driveway. Tuesday, 7 p.m., the Cedar Grove Community Center buzzed with 129 residents, Channel 9 cameras, and electric tension. Cynthia arrived late, in a navy suit and pearls, sweating under fluorescent lights, her briefcase bulging with lies. She tried to steer the agenda. We're addressing harassment by agitators, Sandra cut in. This is about financial transparency, per state law. The room crackled as I held up bank statements. No reports in 18 months. Sandra's charts exposed $11,200 in theft, fake vendors, her cousin's landscaping, non-existent repairs. Edith gasped. Cynthia shrieked. These are forged. I fired back. From the county clerk? Martinez stepped forward. Explain the vendor payments. Tom revealed. She's hit 3 other HOAs with the same scam. Cynthia lunged for Sandra's boards. I'll sue you all. I played my ace. 4K footage of Cynthia measuring my truck, sneaking onto my property, trying a car boot. Community authority to steal? I asked. Edith stood, trembling. I resigned. This is wrong. Cynthia screamed. I'm the president. Martinez cuffed her. You're under arrest. Embezzlement, false reports, attempted theft. The room erupted in applause as Cynthia's screams faded. her pearls glinting in handcuffs under camera flashes. 3 weeks later, Cedar Grove transformed. Neighbors waved freely, no longer hiding from BMW prowls. Sandra became treasurer. Mandating monthly transparency, Tom rewrote vehicle rules legally. Edith apologized, joining the community garden. Cynthia's house foreclosed, recovering $8,600. Her insurance paid $4,300. HOA dues dropped $30, funding a new playground, a garden, and the Nathan Hayes Trade Scholarship for kids like Tom's son, Ethan, studying carpentry. Lily played outside, fearless, as I cut back. Shifts, Clara and I started dating, bonding over color-coded evidence files. Cynthia pleaded guilty to embezzlement and false reports, getting 18 months in jail, 5 years probation, and a restraining order. Her cousin faced tax fraud. A civil suit won $12,500 in damages, setting a precedent against HOA abuse. Transparency Day barbecues replaced fear with grilled burgers and laughter. Channel 9 story won an award. Emma joking Cynthia handed her the scoop. The garden bloomed. Kids played among sunflowers. Cynthia's house sold to a family with 3 kids and a work truck. Parking freely. My cameras now caught bike races, not crimes. Lily asked, "Can we stay forever, Dad?" Victory tasted like morning coffee in a driveway free of heel clicks or fake fines. Just kids. Laughing and a community rebuilt. Was Cynthia's downfall justice or revenge? Can HOA serve without turning tyrannical? Share your HOA nightmare below. Your story could spark change. Hit subscribe for more tales of crushing corruption.